Yes, yo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. If today is your first time seeing me on your screen, my name is The Habit of Nations, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For my old subscribers, for my old viewers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really appreciate you. Like I said, if today is your first time, you're welcome. Please consider clicking on the subscribe button, and please, when watching, don't forget to give this video a like. Without wasting much of your time, I have an interesting video for you guys today again, and the topic for today is said, why is Africa called the dark continent? First of all, let's look at the meaning of dark. When we say dark, the first thing that will come to your mind is something that is bad, right? Let's say look at this goat, is so dark, the beast is so dark, wow, the night is so dark, I'm scared. This thing is so dark. And when you say the opposite of dark is black, right? When something happened, for example, in Nigeria, I don't know about other countries, maybe there's an accident, like a mass accident or a mass killing on a particular day, the thing that is going to say is Black Friday, Black Saturday, black, like something bad. I mean, the black or dark indicates something really bad. But the question is, why did the white people call us black, or why did they have to label us those bad things? Because right now, if as an African, when you're black, you go to places, people want to get adjusted from you because of that mindset. Black stuff is bad, black stuff is bad. And now the question is, why is Africa, the continent of Africa, called the dark continent? I mean, that's a very interesting. Before I go on to the video, for me, after much research about so many things, because my mind is opening every day, for me, I don't like to identify myself as a black man anymore, because there was somebody that was asking me that they said, why don't you want to identify yourself as a black man? I said, first of all, in my country, Nigeria, when I'm filling the form, nobody will ask the color of my skin. If I'm opening the bank account, if I'm registering for school, if I'm registering for hospital, if I'm registering for any government organization, nobody's going to ask me, are you black, white, Caucasian, are you Hispanic, are you Indian, are you blah blah blah. They're just going to ask me my states, my local government, and that's what they're going to ask me. So why should any man identify me by color? And this is a white man that gave you people this color, and he's trying to label you like a bad thing, like an object, like a bad object, like, you know. So for me, I've stopped identifying myself as a black man, because it's only America that I've seen that people always, if you are filling a form, they'll ask you the color of person you are. That's to tell you how racist they are and how divided that country will ever be. This racism stuff we are talking about, even if it stopped in other places, it can never stop in America. Because if you have somebody in America, or at least in America, if they are filling forms, you always see they will always ask you to choose your color. You know, they want to know who you are before they can do anything for you. And according to statistics, the black African American are the lowest rate of people they will give loan to in the United States. Even if there's some form you'll be filling, they will be asking you your high colors. But in Africa, they don't ask us that if we are filling form. I mean, if you are from any part of Africa country, if they ask you these things, let me know on the comment section. For me, I'm not a black man, so just call me a Nigerian. Okay, just ask me, just call me a Nigerian man, don't call me a black man, because we're gonna have a problem. Anyway, let's get to the topic, right? Without wasting much of your time, let's get to the topic. And today's topic is, I said, why is Africa called the dark continent? Like I said, the opposite of dark is black. And when we say black, it means something bad, something scary, something evil, black power, black magic, black whatever you want to, black beast. Just name it. It's something bad. So you can't expect me to identify myself with those kind of things as a color. All right. So let me go straight to the topic. And the person that will write this article is his name is DJ Champion. He said, why is Africa called the dark continent? And he said, Africa is not a dark continent. The only thing dark about Africa is people ignorance about my home. Otherwise, we have never been a dark continent. He said, those who seems to justify the terms as exploit, I ask you, exploit to who? To the white man. To the white man. Europeans came to Africa and started discovering landmarks that our ancestors have been using for generations. They discovered lakes, rivers, monuments, which our ancestors have been using from the beginning. How do you discover a lake whose water had been consumed by indigenous people for generations? How do you discover a mountain that our ancestors have been climbing for battlefield training and other traditions? How do you rename the land that our chiefs had owned for generations? Unless, of course, you consider the indigenous people to be people of no value, the so-called savages who had occupied the continent for centuries, the same way slaves were transferred into ships better than consumer goods. So in the end, that's what the narrative is all about: racism and the unusual power white people have exercised to black people for millennia. He said that the narrative of the dark continent was no different. If anybody still call Africa the dark continent today, they are no different from the KKK, slave owner, and the scramble for Africa, which torture, killed, murder African people for years and has continued to hold them down till today. So from Africa, the US, the US, Brazil, the visual wherever black people call home. The visual wherever black people call home. I said, why can't the white man leave the black man alone? We have suffered enough and would appreciate if the imperialist racism and others were to leave us alone in peace. In the end, since we were the first here, does not mean that you trace your origin to black people. In Ethiopia, to be exact, why don't they leave us alone for once? So before folks go crazy in the comment section, let me make it clear that I am not blaming anybody for the sins of their ancestors. I am aware that there are good folks all over the place. However, those who never learn and keep the status quo are advancing the idea of racism and savagery that white colonists came with during the invasion of the African continent. So it is not my intention to hurt anybody feeling, but the truth should hurt. And it said, learn more at Africa is home. Remind of this answer. It hit home since I'm Rwanda. It said, does Benjo bear any moral responsibility for the atrocities in the Congo and subsequently in Rwanda? And Evan said, those who seem to justify the terms as exploit, I ask, exploit to who? I guess the people who consider Africa exploit had to really feel stupid to realize that humans involved in Africa in the first place and have lived there longer than anywhere else on earth. And this guy said exactly. And Davis said yes, and the truth can set you free also. It's strange how when we talk about our past, slavery and colonialism, we are somehow made to feel that we should not be talking about it. As you said, slogans such as I shouldn't be punished for my ancestors, etc. He said the Jews are allowed to keep their past of the Holocaust alive. Nobody would never say to them the past is the past. Film, books, puppies, it's all kept alive. I was reading a passage on Quora just the other day from a German girl and how they taught the history of their ancestors and what they did. They deal with it much better than other Europeans deal with talk of slavery. And this guy said, nice answer. What a beautiful continent, and I'm proud to be Africa. He said, likewise, thank you. Likewise, brother, thank you. And he said, very funny man you have, Mr. Champion. Say, I like this answer very much, but there is a part I disagree with. This part here. He said, and and has continued to hold them down till today. First, colonialism happened everywhere in the world too, and the people in those places are getting grip and moving on. Hell, people are still being sold as slaves around the world even as we write these answers. Now let me ask you, when was the last time a foreign power invaded a sovereign country in Africa? Slave trade happened decades before the two world war, which left Europe devastated. Yet I am almost certain you are writing from somewhere in the middle of that Europe, very comfortable and at ease. Why are Europeans not sitting around and complaining about what the war did to their continent? Why are Indians not complaining about the atrocity the British committed in their land and not too long ago? Why are the Native Americans not complaining? They were hunted to near extinction. Why are Africa the crybabies of the world? He said, anyway, my point is this: no one except Africans themselves are holding themselves down. Europeans did not just land on the continent and bond people up and took them to Americans. Africans themselves are culpable too. He said, I am tired of all this Europe slave trade, this Europe oppression of Africa, that Africa were the ones who captured fellow Africans in the hinterland and sold them to Europe for items such as mirror, combs, and whiskey. It is called slave trade because some people sold and others bought. Don't absorb Africans of the horrendous crime of selling a human. It's a more so a human like themselves. We capture and trade people for worthless items, yet we get angry when we call savages. Said, how much will you as an Africa offer a European to overthrow his country government, no matter how foolish it may seem at the time? What will you give a European to sell you his countryman? Yet we do it all the time. Prime example, in recent times, the case of Thomas Sankara, when a domestic rat bring in a white rat to eat the fish in the house because it does not want to share with his fellow domestic rat. Who is the fool? Let's stop blaming Europe for the foolishness of our people. Let's not blame anyone because dwelling on the past all the time is hurting our future and as people. The earlier we stop, the earlier we stop this blame game and take responsibility for our present and future, the better we get. If we keep complaining that Europe oppress Africa, it is not a shame. Isn't it a shame to us, Africa? It means we believe Europe is stronger than Africa and we have refused to take a stand and had to plug the leakage. He said we should keep quiet and conserve the energy we exhaust on talk for work to put our affairs together. And Leslie said, you have a lot to learn, my friend. Start by reading up on how the World Bank, the IMF, etc. allowed the former colonial master to continue exerting undue influence on the resources-rich continent. So you wrote, let's stop blaming Europe for the foolishness of our people. Africa are no more foolish than anyone else on the planet. I see you have been taught where I see brainwashed to have a realistic world view. And Lars said, I don't intend to justify colonialism, but that's not the reason why Africa is called the Dark Continent. When the European colonized America, the natives mostly died out from diseases that Europeans brought. Later on, when Europeans went to Africa, the same thing happened to them, which is why Africa was not colonized until 1870s. They called it the Dark Continent because when they went there, many of them died from diseases that they had never been exposed to before. So my guys, before I continue this video, please click on this on the like button. Okay, please like this video if it is the first time. consider clicking on the subscribe button. So I mean, you've joined me when I was reading the article of these people talking about, some people still have this mindset that the Europeans should not be blamed, that Africa sold Africa, our ancestors sold our people. But let me ask you people, for those of us that think like that, let me ask you a question. Right now, especially in Nigeria, that these people that they call these Yahoo boys, right? These people are the people that when they get on the internet, they fraud people, and people pay them money willingly. But according to the law, they will say you are under arrest for pretending to be somebody else and taking money by force, blah blah blah, according to the law. So if you want to put it that way, that Africa sold their own people for whatever comb or mirror or whatever. So why is the government arresting these? I'm not justifying fraud, okay? I'm against fraud 100%. But why is the government arresting these people that are frauding these people? Why can't the government just leave them there? Since these white people are falling for them, they be mumu. That means they don't have sense. So you are trying to tell me that our ancestors should be blamed for selling our people, when the white people knew that what they were doing back then was bad. Why didn't the white people correct them and say, listen, this thing will work, you don't have to sell your people to us, okay? We give you this thing for free. Maybe you can give us some food. You can give us palm wine, palm oil, even crude oil. I don't know. Maybe there was no crude oil there, but you can give me something that is more valuable apart from selling us your brother, because that is exactly what is happening today. If you look at those people that are fraudsters, because these people are frauding, they are frauding people from Europe and from all over the world, and their own government will be the one to catch them, persecute them. Why can't the government just say, leave them now, since those people, they are mumu, right? Let's just pretend that we didn't see it. Let's just pretend that what they are doing is right. So why didn't the white people back then, many of these people have government already. So why didn't the government persecute their own people and say, why are you going to another country or another continent to buy people? Anyway, what do I know? But for me, like I said, don't call me a black man, just call me a Nigerian. I'm a Nigerian. Don't give me a color I know nothing about. All right, like I said, if today is your first time seeing me on your screen, my name is the Heartbeat of the Nation, and please consider clicking on the subscribe button if today is your first time. If you haven't done that, click on the subscribe button below, and if you like this video, God bless Africa. Hopefully Africa will be called the light continent someday. God bless Africa. Peace.